is there anything I should be doing before planning a pregnancy? And the answer is, ideally, if you have the benefit of being able to plan before pregnancy, then yeah, absolutely, it's really good to be able to look at a few different things. So first one is just making sure that your general overall health is good, looking at diet and lifestyle, making sure that you're off the cigarettes, minimizing alcohol as general sort of lifestyle measures. But there are some other blood tests that we like to check, make sure that you're immune to certain infections that are really rare in pregnancy but important, things such as rubella, chickenpox and measles, and then other blood tests if relevant to you and your own personal health. So the other one I like all people to know about is that you can have genetic testing done, and this didn't used to exist several years ago, but the technology's come a really long way and it's very accessible now to have a test. And the best time is before you're pregnant, but it's testing your genes and or your partner's genes, and looking to see whether there's any important but rare genetic diseases that you might be carrying, that if you're carrying them and your partner's carrying them, then if you have a baby together, there might be a chance of the baby carrying that particular genetic disease. Now, this test can be done at any point. It's only a one-off test because it's your genes. It's nothing to do with a particular pregnancy. And it's very simple. You can have it done as a blood test or as a cheek swab, because it's a cheek. They get a few cells that are tested and the DNA is tested. Turnaround time it varies, but it's usually back within a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And there's various different levels of genetic testing that you can have done. So the most common 3 conditions in our society here is genetic conditions such as cystic fibrosis, Fragile X, and spinal muscular atrophy. And they're both, again, pretty rare, but for example, cystic fibrosis, 1 in 25 Caucasians do carry the gene. So you do have if the 2 people have the gene, you've got a 1 in 2,500 chance of the baby having cystic fibrosis. So knowing that before you get pregnant can mean that you could choose or elect to have a baby through IVF, where they can test the embryo before implanting it. So you're essentially selecting the healthy baby. So there's things that we can do now in order to prevent a lot of these genetic diseases. So you can have those 3 tests, or you can have 500 of those tests, and the price isn't that much different. And there's different providers who offer that particular type of genetic testing. So for people who like to do everything they can to minimize any risks of any issues, nothing's ever 100%, but it's certainly something you could have done, and you could talk to your GP about organizing that particular type of test.